All righty. All righty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you all are tuning in. This is Dealing with the Aftermath. Dealing with the Aftermath. Coming out as pure gold with your hosts, Tanya Reeves, Mary Hale, Patricia Brooks, Beatrice Carter, and Tennille M. Jackson. Dealing with the Aftermath, the show helping you with all your tissue issues. All right,
I love
ladies, so
it.
we are live. Is that a good surprise? Is that a good way to kick off the show or what?
Love it. Love it. It's wonderful.
Yay, yay. So, look, to everybody that is coming in, we just want to welcome you officially. This is the debut of Dealing with the Aftermath, the show that helps you with all of your tissue issues. I am one of your hosts, Tennille M. Jackson, joined by my co host, Miss Patricia Brooks, Tanya Reeves, as well as Beatrice Carter. Missing from our conglomerate of women is Miss Mary Hale, but we are praying with her. We know that she is going through some things. So, Mary, we are sending prayers your way. And so, as you all are coming on, please feel free to like and share the show, as well as tag somebody that you believe would benefit from the broadcast. And who the broadcast benefits, ladies, is everybody. We hate saying everybody, but literally, if you are dealing with relationships, you can benefit from this. If you have some grown kids that's just like getting on your nerve, you can benefit from this show. If you have dealt with illnesses, sicknesses, death, you can benefit from it. Even domestic violence and abuse, you guys can benefit from this show. Lonnie, hello, sir. Thank you so much for tuning in. For all of our family that is joining us, thank you. This is the debut of Dealing with the Aftermath, the talk show. I'm going to relinquish the floor and we're going to start with our guests. They're going to introduce to you a little bit about themselves, as well as why they are excited about this show, Dealing with the Aftermath. Come on, Miss Patricia. We are going to start with you, baby. Let's go.
I knew you were going to do that. And I am so unprepared, but I'm just going to, first of all, say that I am so ecstatic to be here with you ladies. It has been my dream for a long time to become an author, and you, Neil, have made that a reality for me. So I thank you. And I thank you, ladies, who are also co-authoring with me on this book, Dealing with the Aftermath. My name is Patricia Brooks. Um, as a career base, I deal in healthcare mostly. Um, I am married with one daughter. Um, I really am just waiting and bubbling over with enthusiasm about this book that we have created, dealing with the aftermath. Um, some of the things that we will be discussing in the book, um, my parts in particular, um, deals with illness. I dealt with some different illnesses these last couple of years, and also self doubt and things of that nature. We also delve into other topics. And so I think that it's a little bit of something in this book for everyone to take away. And so, like you had said earlier, I think this book is for everybody. This show is for everybody to take away something that maybe you may see yourself or see someone else. And so I'm just happy to be here. And I'm going to turn it over to another lady to explain, why she's a part of this book.
Come on, Miss Tanya, talk about it. This is what you do. So come on, talk about it tonight, Miss Tanya Reeves.
Well, I got a lot to say um about domestic violence and abuse and different things that have impacted my life that caused me to just want to share my story. I want to tell everybody who has children, um, daughters, even sons, how domestic violence impacts their lives, and it frames their way of thinking and the way they are raised, the way they interact with people. And it's so important that we let people know what these things do to children and what they do to them as adults and how it impacts their lives practically forever, if not treated properly. Um, Domestic violence affected me in a negative way at first, but then I found a way to bless people through my story. And so that's the reason why I wanted to be a part of this book. That's the reason why I do what I do. I try to speak on as many platforms as I possibly can.
Well, that sounds awesome. Come on, Miss Deatrice, our own little songbird who blessed us a little bit earlier today, coming back with Monday morning music moments. So come on, tell us a little bit about you and why you're happy about being a part of this platform.
Good evening, everybody. I am Deatrice Carter. I do a lot of things. I have a lot of names. Some people just call me D. Some call me Dee Dee. Very few people call me Deatrice. But I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot of things. I am the mother of three beautiful daughters and the grandmother of three wonderful grandsons. I live in Dallas, Texas. I think I'm the only one that lives away from Chicago. But it's kind of become my second home. I'm so happy to be here with you ladies, working on this book, this wonderful, well, it's more than a book, it's a
Come on,
movement
come
dealing with
on.
the aftermath. But I'm
Yes.
very excited to be a part of it. It is a movement, it has a lot of tentacles and branches to it. Um, my two main chapters in this first anthology are about being an empty nester, which I am, and I'm enjoying it now. I kind of grieved a little bit when my last child graduated college, but I've learned how to live being an empty nester. And then my second main chapter of this book is on death, something that many of us have experienced time and time again. But the reason it touches me so is because I started experiencing death at a very, very young age. It even affected my family, affected me as an infant. So we're going to talk about that in the days and the weeks to come and in the book.
Yep.
So thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lonnie says he likes this. That's simply amazing. And to the
Hey,
person who
Lonnie.
asked, when will the book be released? So we had to kind of move some things and shift some things to get things together. But we are actually going to be releasing it in July. And so you heard Dee talk about the fact that this was a movement, right? So that means that it's not just a book anymore. In fact, you're seeing us, it has now evolved into not just a talk show, not just a book, but it will also be a conference. So again, when we're telling you that we're helping you with all of your tissue issues, we're giving you various platforms where you can, not, when I say expose yourself, I mean expose whatever it is that's going on that has been holding you back. So when you hear us talking about the anthology, please don't get it confused. This show is not simply a visual form of the book, right? Like this is legitimately going to be a talk show. So you think like The View meets The Real with a twist. So we're going to be talking about current events, right? But it's going to have you bringing out your own tissues. So whatever it is that you've been going through, we're going to talk about it. Because this is the debut show, then we are kind of just giving you all a little bit about who we are so you know our flavor, right? Because all of us, although we're all beautiful and wonderful and everything, we all have our own different flair. So like I'm going to go around and then they're going to kind of go after me. So Oh, wait, before I do that though, when is the conference? Okay, so Lonnie, the conference is July 9th. So you guys, please mark your calendars. So Saturday, July 9th from 12 to 4 p.m. is the conference, the Dealing with the Aftermath conference. Okay. And so we are going to be doing it in a suburb of Chicago, and more details will follow. But please save that date, Saturday, July 9th. That is going to be our conference. The book will be released, some tears will be released, some joy will be released. And that's one of the reasons why we kind of label, we say dealing with the aftermath, but coming out as pure gold, right? So I'm going to go around the table and kind of tell you what I believe that all of these women are going to bring to the talk show, right? So in terms of Miss Patricia Brooks, that is our firecracker, baby. She's gonna give you some flair. She's gonna bring you that flavor. Like, this is the homegirl of the group. Like, if you need somebody that's gonna be real with you, for real, like, she ain't trying to give you all of the pretty words. She's one of the best writers that you will know about. She can write that will move you to tears. She can write like nobody's business, but she's very personable when you speak with her. So that's what you're going to get from Patricia. From Tanya, Tanya's just like the mama that's going to be there to comfort and encourage you. She just going to be like, girl, you got it. Like, don't worry about it. He did what? Or even to our guys, she going to be like, you know what? Hang in there. You can make it. So she's like our resident encourager. And then D is gonna, she got a song for everything, right? Like, literally.
I do.
That's what she does. But let me tell you, beyond the beautiful singing, D is just a joyful person. So, like, if you turned on the broadcast and you were feeling a little bit sad, by the time you leave, then that's what she's going to do. She's going to kind of fill your spirit a little bit with more joy. And when Mary joins us, Mary is mother wisdom. So she always gives you like those nuggets, right? Am I lying, ladies? Is that kind of
That's Mary.
That's true.
like, she's
Yes.
gonna give you some stuff. So, like, here's the thing. We're gonna have, moving forward, we're gonna have some guests. And so when we have the guests, it's gonna be about them and not about us. But tonight it's about us because we're debuting and we're letting you guys know what to expect. So, Patricia, we're gonna start breaking down some issues tonight, y'all. I'm gonna
Okay.
ask, if it's three of y'all, we cannot have a tie. So, of the issue, so let's pick some. So, of self-esteem, right? Because you dealt with low self-esteem. Tanya did domestic violence, and the actress did death. I'm only picking one. I know everybody did too. Of those three issues, which one should we go into tonight? Pick one that you want to talk about. Low self-esteem, death, or domestic violence. Which one should we talk about tonight?
Low self-esteem.
Low
Let's-
self-esteem. I was kind of thinking that in my shondo. Tanya, are you on low self-esteem tonight? I mean, we on high self-esteem. We got high self-esteem, but is you feeling that? Can we go into it? Can we go into it a little bit?
I think low self-esteem is good. I don't know if something's going on with my background. Do y'all hear any feedback?
We hear a little bit of feedback. So it's up to you if you want to log out and then come back in. You can do
Yeah, I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Okay. So we'll get started talking, and then when you come back, girl, just jump in, okay?
Okay.
All right. So look, ladies, Patricia, matter of fact, I'm gonna let you start because of the fact that it was you first. This was your whole idea. So we want to, well, I won't say it's your idea because you don't like when I say
Right.
So it was your chapter. How about that?
Right. Yes.
So it was
yes,
your
yes.
chapter. So let's get started with low self-esteem. Is that something that you actually had to deal with, like, or is it just something that you heard about?
Okay.
Girl,
You
come
like
on.
put it. I see you like putting me on the spot, so
Well, I'm
knowing
gonna
that
ask you the same thing.
knowing that I am extremely nervous right now.
Ain't nobody watching. It's just me, you and the actress right here.
So
That's it.
let's go. Let's deal with this. Let's start with this.
Baby, you can do it.
Let's.
You got
So
this.
the chapter is on self-doubt. Now,
But we don't even want to talk
within
about the chapter. We ain't
no, no,
talking-
no, 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 no. I'm going to get there. Let
Okay.
me. I'm
Go
the
ahead.
resident
Take us.
baby, right?
Come on.
So the chapter is self-doubt. So within that self-doubt, there's other little, caveats, right? So you have, some low self-esteem, you have some procrastination, you have, other things that makes up all of this stuff, Um, fear of success, we discussed that. So to go back to your original question, absolutely. You got me out here being vulnerable and transparent. So yes, I probably deal with that today, and I have dealt with it the majority of my life and trying to find ways to combat it in different phases, if you will, dealing with different relationships, right, with myself, with others, with God. So all of that, comes into just trying to figure out, as you get older, and I know I have heard people say, whether it was the 45, the 50, the 55, 60, even celebrities, you will hear them, especially older ones. I feel my best self at this age. I feel the most me. I feel better. I feel I have the best self-esteem. I don't care what other people think about me. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's an age thing. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a growth thing. I mean, you have to have the experiences in your life to get to where you're going to be later on, right? So I'm 45. I'll be 46 in June. And I'm still feeling like I'm coming into myself as a person, as a woman, a mother, a wife. You know what I'm saying? So all these, titles, I still have to be stripped down to who Patricia is, right? And but yes, absolutely, low self-esteem has, plagued me for the majority of my life.
Come on, Ms. D, add to that because she touched on some things. She said it's comprised of a lot of different things when we're talking about self-doubt. So touch on some things like, have you suffered from any of it? Do you still suffer from it? Talk about it.
Okay. This is gonna sound odd, gonna sound weird, but for the most part, and I'm human too, but for the most part, low self-esteem has not really been something that I've suffered with overall. Now, of course, I've had some times of self-doubt, some moments of self-doubt, but it's not a recurring or recurring problem for me. And I believe within all my heart the reason why, and I hope this helps somebody when they're talking to their children. As you'll find out in my chapters and as I talk, my mother raised me by herself because my father passed away. He was killed in a car wreck and I know I'm back to death, but it's leading up to something when I was 4 months old. So my mother did all she could to raise us, and I'm the baby child, with high self-esteem. And one of the earliest things that my mother told me and she drilled into me was that you're not better than anybody else, but nobody is better than you. And let me tell you, y'all, that stuck with me all my life. And I can walk in a room with some people. I don't have low self-esteem. I can sit on the curb and talk to a homeless person and try to raise their esteem. So that really has not plagued me. Now, have I had some moments of self-doubt in my life? Absolutely. Absolutely. Through my young growing up age, not so much. When after I got divorced, yes. When I hit 50 and started going through menopause and stuff kind of went crazy. Yeah. When the weight started piling on, because I used to think I was fine. Yeah.
You sad, girl.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
But so in spurts, some self-doubt in spurts, yes. But overall, as a lifelong thing, and listen, I have my problems and my issues, but that's just not one that has really plagued me or followed me overall.
Gotcha. 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 Lonnie say you still got it, sis. What matter of fact, say I
Lonnie,
still got it. Thank you, Lonnie. We appreciate you,
Lonnie,
sir. You tuned in any week and
thank you,
every week,
Lonnie, thank
okay?
you.
Okay. Come
Keep
on,
it
Miss
coming. Keep it
Tanya.
coming.
Right.
Yes, yeah,
So
yeah,
Miss
yeah.
Tanya, have you ever had to deal with low self-esteem on any issue? So low self-esteem, self-doubt, procrastination, any of those?
I'm dealing still with all of those, to be honest. I would love to say that I'm over it, but I know that when I get to working on something, it does creep back in a little bit, and I have to go in the corner and talk to myself and praise my way out of it.
Mhm.
Um, it is very sometimes heavy. And not to like put a damper on, you know, everybody's mood, but it is frustrating sometimes when you trying to get stuff done and you don't really believe in yourself like you know you should. You know you capable. I'm sorry, I need to turn my phone off. You know you capable of doing stuff and you're not understanding what's the problem. Like, where is this coming from? I got this.
Mhm.
So why can't I get moving? You know what I'm saying? It's even down to when you write and you know what God, you know the story God gave you to put in your head to write down on that paper. But when you get that pen to the paper, it seems like you just draw a blank. And it's
Mhm.
kind of that type of a feeling. My low self esteem and my confidence issues came from my childhood abuser, you know, the person that abused me. And I was a cocky kid. I wasn't afraid to fight nobody. And I thought I was everybody's bodyguard. But when it came to her, it's like I had to cower down because of her size. And it wasn't so much of her size alone, it was just she had got in my head. And it got to the point where I just didn't want to fight her. And I had to figure out a different way to outsmart her. But at the end of the day, when I got over that hurdle, I wasn't afraid of anybody. But I still had that secret low self esteem. I didn't want nobody else to know about it, but I still had it, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, and for me, look at here, the actress, I cannot identify with you at all because I always had low self-esteem. You hear me? Like literally just within maybe the last 5 years of my life, and I'll be 42 in April. So like for mostly all of my life, low self-esteem was an issue. Like I never looked at myself and saw myself as beautiful. Like how Lonnie was like, "Oh, y'all gorgeous," like that was not my truth. And I think a lot of it for me was because I don't know, like in high school, you had guys that would deal with you, but it was different because you knew that they didn't really like you. They were just trying to get with you. And especially if you were built a certain way. So it was like they just wanted you to be a notch. And so it was really for me more so like it was a self-loathing process. Like I hated my body because I couldn't tell if somebody actually liked me for me or if they just liked me for my body. You know what I'm saying? So like I remember going through a stage where I was wearing saggy clothes, like I was sagging my pants, and like now I would be labeled as something, because of how I dress. But I was a tomboy, didn't care. My sister say I'm still a tomboy, just because a sister like to play softball, jump some rope, do some stuff, but that's how I was. And so I didn't see myself like I knew that I was smart, but I never looked at myself as being pretty. Like the way we were raised, it was almost like you could be one or the other. You couldn't be both. And so I was like, okay, well, pretty is only going to take me so far. But let me be smart because that'll keep me going. You see what I'm saying? But I thank God. Can we say thanks be to God that He
Yes.
showed me? that you can
Yes.
have them both. And so I'm grateful. One of the things, to Tanya's point, one of the things that really helped me in terms of self-doubt, right? And this is just quick revelation because I want for us to kind of transition. Because one of the things we want you all to see as you guys are coming on, first of all, thank you for watching. Second of all, hit the share button, tag somebody that you believe will benefit from this show. But one of the reasons that we are coming out like this and being vulnerable is because we want you guys to understand that we are not so far removed that we can't identify. The reason why we're able to talk about these tissue issues is because we've all cried sometime over one thing or another. Can the church say amen on that one?
Amen.
Amen.
When we were putting the book together, we was on the phone crying when we was putting the book together. And that was just like a little bit over a year ago. Hey, Miss Annette. So the point just is that this is something that we've all dealt with, we deal with in various times. And so when you come to this show, understand that this isn't somebody that's just going to be giving you what statistics say, what research have shown. These are things that we have lived, so we understand that they're real. Depending on the circle, people look at us and they feel that we're successful. Patricia told you she does some things in the health industry. Tanya does some things. Dee does some things. I do some things. We all do some things beyond just being on this screen. And most of the time, especially as women, we're looked to as being the strength in our circles. And so what happens when that strength needs strength? I believe that Beyonce sung a song. D, you might know this, but Beyonce sung a song that said, like, who will save the hero, right? So it's like, this is really what we want to do. But beyond just telling you, hey, we done cried, we want to also do that latter part. We done dealt with the aftermath. And in some cases, as Tanya said, we're still dealing with aftermath. But our belief is that you're able to come out as
Yes.
pure soul, right? You ain't gotta stay in it. So again, Tanya, to your point, here's a revelation I got. At some point, I'm gonna write a book. It's a part of a 12-book series. I have a 12-book series that's supposed to come out. The series is called Building the Quintessential Self. One of the books is called Living in Purpose, on Purpose, with Purpose, right? And so at the time when I wrote it, it was just really a cute title. Don't that sound good? Don't that sound inspirational? Living
Yes.
in purpose,
Yes.
on purpose, with purpose, right? But let me tell you what God dropped in my ear. And matter of fact, I think this is just 2 or 3 days ago. So one of the reasons why I was feeling a void was because I didn't get it, right? So living in purpose means that you're doing what you're supposed to do. So you're in the purpose that God has given you. So you're
Yes.
doing what you're supposed to do. On purpose is because you want to do it, right?
Right.
So whatever it is you do on purpose, because you want to do it. With purpose is understanding why you're doing it, right? So for me, for so long, I was in this place called stuck because I was always doing one of the three.
The sound is
Yeah.
Is going in and out. Can y'all hear me?
I
Yes.
can hear
it's
you.
mechanical.
Okay.
I can
So
hear you.
Okay. So living for me, it was always one of the three. So a lot of the times I was living on purpose, right? So
Mhm.
I was doing what I was just whatever it was I was doing it was because I wanted to do it, not that it was what I should have been doing. You understand what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like sometimes you in relationships that maybe you shouldn't be in, but you doing it because you want to do it, right? You going places that maybe you shouldn't be going, but because you want to do it, so you on purpose. But then
Right.
there were times where I transitioned and I was in purpose. So like I was doing the right thing, but I didn't necessarily understand why. So I still kind of felt empty. But it's like now, Patricia, when you're talking about you hit certain milestones in your life, now I'm at a point where everything, the dots have connected, where I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And it's because it's what I want to do. And I understand why I'm doing what it is. And I think
Right.
that that helps you when you get stuck. So to anybody that's watching, so not just to my fellow co-hosts, but like no matter what your project is, so whether your project can be trying to deal with your spouse, because that's a whole project, Patricia, we ain't even gonna We ain't even gonna go there. We keeping these smiles on our faces today, right? That's a whole nother show when we talk about the relationship show. But dealing with your spouses, dealing with your children, that's projects that don't ever end. Whether you're talking about an entrepreneurial endeavor, like many times you get stuck. One of the things that can help you to get unstuck is to understand the why. Patricia, what's something else that you feel that people can do or things that you have been able to do to get unstuck?
Therapy.
Come on, talk about it. Talk about it.
Please go to therapy. So I have a life coach. I have a support system. I have family and friends that love them some me. I'm not for everybody though, but I have a really wonderful husband. I have again wonderful family and friends, and then you guys became my community. Before this started, I didn't know Tanya and D and Mary. And so we have become, sister girlfriends, family, all of that, combined. And, but yeah, and prayer, you know what I'm saying? Please don't leave that out. Much prayer. But yeah, I see someone to talk about my issues, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
Come on. And you shouldn't be. Tanya, you got
Yeah.
stuck, but then you got unstuck. What got you unstuck?
I don't. I'm. It's a couple things, but I'm gonna name the most important thing. I didn't want to be in that space anymore.
That
Mm,
sounds like your choice. You made a
Yeah,
choice. Come
I
on.
made a choice. I didn't want to. The comfort zone got too uncomfortable. The stuck place was me trying to be safe. Me not willing to step out on faith because I didn't want to get hurt or I didn't want to be embarrassed or I didn't want to fail or I didn't want to, what if it don't work? I got tired of that mentality. They call it a poverty mentality now.
Mhm.
mm,
And I had to learn how to get out of it because it wasn't comfortable for me anymore. And I
Mhm.
got tired of being there.
Mhm.
And
That's
how did I get out of it? I just pushed my way. I got acquainted again with some wonderful women. I'm glad to be a woman. You all are, God is just putting me in different groups. I think I'm a part of so many different groups. I can't even keep up with it, but they're all blessing me in so many ways till they working for me. They helping me build my business. They helping me build my speaking engagements. I wasn't even doing this to be a public speaker. I just wanted to do my ministry. But in doing all of this, I became an author. I'm a public speaker. I'm on a public speaking tour. I'm mentoring people. I'm an influencer on Facebook. I wasn't even trying to do all of that. It's just that that's the way it happened when you start posting, like you said, when I'm trying to encourage somebody, when I know somebody going through something, I want to put their business out there. So I might say something encouraging. Hopefully they'll read it. It ends up blessing other people. So, just when you stop worrying about what other people think and
it.
stop worrying about whether or not you're going to fail, because I learned that God makes no mistakes. And so even if I do take a left when he told me to keep straight, he just gonna redirect me.
That's good.
That's not the end of the world because he redirected me. In fact, that's a good thing that shows me that he loved me. And knowing that God loved me helps me get unstuck.
I love it. I
Love
love
it.
it. Come on, D. You stuck. You stuck. Patricia done already said she talked to somebody and we pray. And then Tanya done chimed in. What do? You stuck. How you get unstuck?
I got a lot of stuff. Lots of stuff. Most definitely my relationship with God, the Holy Spirit, and prayer. I have a great family. And I absolutely have been to therapy. It's been a few years back, but it was good for me. I needed it. Sometimes I'm the problem. Sometimes I'm the problem.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good for me. Um, and I have some wonderful, wonderful friends, like some really wonderful friends. I was thinking before I came on here, just thinking to myself as I was sitting, Tanil, well, I wasn't thinking about you, but I'm saying it now. The lady that is my very best friend, we've been best friends. Well, you too, Patricia. We've been best friends longer than you guys have been alive.
Wow.
We've been best friends for 50 years.
Wow.
50. We
That's
met in second grade
Wow.
and we're still best friends. And I have some other wonderful lady friends and that I can rely on, and I just have some really good friends that I can talk to that understand me and I understand them, and it's peaceful and we're loyal, and so those are my things. Yeah.
That's awesome. Shalonda said that sometimes we're in our own way and that she had to learn that the hard way.
yes.
Can I get it from you one time, Patricia? You just got to say,
Baby.
look here.
That's
Y'all
it.
gonna learn. So
That's
let me
it.
just say this.
Let me
Go ahead.
tell the people what that is about. I have to. And I don't know if I'm probably going to explain it more and more and more. So these ladies on here, right, you guys, they love me, right? And they think I'm funny. I don't know why. And they think I'm hilarious. And when we'll have our phone calls and our chats, we have been doing some, Zoom and creating this book since January of 2020, right? Was it 2020 or 2021?
2021.
2021, right? So
Yeah.
look, just making the year that we've all been, doing some form of communication.
Yes.
And sometimes it get real raw, good, bad, and different. We talk about our lives and everything that's going on in it. And then sometimes when things get real good and tough and just, when the rubber hits the road, I hit them with a baby.
And she bring it back.
And you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, baby,
That's the
and
one.
they just think it's hilarious, right? I know some people that's probably on here, they're like, Patricia, get a grip. But listen, they loved it. And so
It
you will
brings us
too.
back. It resets us, Patricia.
Man, let me tell you. See, she think I'm playing, but I promise y'all, it's gonna be a whole T-shirt that say "baby" because
Ready.
like it's different ways that she says it. That's what y'all don't even understand. But as we go deeper into the season, y'all gonna get it. Cause sometimes it might be like that. I agree, baby. Like child. So it's like that one. But then it's something like baby. Let me tell you, like so. You just it depends on how she said. But we gonna have a shirt that say "baby," so that way when y'all watching, y'all can have on y'all just say it. Y'all ain't guys say nothing, just let us see it. But this has been like absolutely incredible. This is our first show, and obviously it still doesn't feel 100% done because we were missing Mary. But we're definitely praying with and for her, and I think that sometimes it's necessary to know when to take time for yourself, right?
Yes.
Because she could have just as easily tried to push her way on and push her way through. I kind of push my way on, push my way through. But this is kind of, it's we talk about self-care all the time and why
Yes.
is so important, and you have to know when you need that time, right?
Yes.
And so for those of you who are watching, we're hoping that you liked our very first episode. Obviously there'll be some things that we're gonna tweak, but we what you see is what you get, okay? Like we ain't reading off no cue cards, ain't no prompters nowhere. Like what comes up is coming out. So it's just a real show. And like I say, there will be times when we will have guests on, and the guests guests are not just going to be like professional people. We may very well bring on some therapists that can help you from a professional manner deal with your tissue issues. But then we might have somebody that's going through and need to know how to deal with the aftermath too. They might need the platform to talk about their relationship because their significant other done drove them crazy. And we and all on this
Man.
panel, we and all had a significant other or two or so that's done drove us crazy. So we know, baby. Matter of fact, baby,
Baby.
You got it.
we got you on that. Like the actress was saying how when her children first left, it was very sad for her. So some of y'all might be dealing with that, or like me, they not grown, they ain't gone. Like with Patricia, they
Oh, I
grown,
love that. They not grown and they ain't gone.
they ain't gone.
Baby.
Like, man, like I'm trying. They almost they
Yeah.
think they grown, but I still have to deal with my still. I tell them, as long as I gotta pay for you, you ain't really grown. You ain't grown enough. You ain't grown enough if I still gotta pay for you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
right.
there are gonna be so many things we talk about. Like tonight, even though we hit, the low self-esteem and we were real, there may be other times where you might legit have to come to the show with your box of tissue, because when we hit things talking about death, or we start talking about situations, and again, it may not always just be our personal things, but we want to be able to have guests that's also able to share their stories, because our goal, as we talked about it earlier, this is a movement. And so this isn't just about us highlighting ourselves. This is about us being able to help others deal with the aftermath, right? We're still in a whole pandemic. And a lot of people are going through and dealing with that. And I want to actually ask both Patricia and D, because you guys work in the health, in the medical field. What really have you seen that has surprised you the most in this whole pandemic, dealing with, because you guys are what we kind of call first responders. So what has been some of the most surprising things, or at least one thing that you saw that just made you like, man, in whatever way that is for you?
Hmm. Um. Ooh. I
I
mean,
would say
that's a very good question. It's been so many things, right? The first pandemic of our lives, right? Um, so in the beginning, it was like, wow. Then it sped up, it slowed down, sped up, it slowed down. The variants, the nurses that are leaving the profession because of the pandemic
Wow.
for no other reason. You know what I'm saying? So things like that have, some of those things have really shocked me. That we don't want to be compliant with certain things. That I'm not talking about the vaccine. I'm just talking about whatever it is, right? So just being compliant with, wanting your community, be it your household, your neighborhood, to be safe, sound, and secure. So a lot of things have kind of, shocked me, but I guess because now we're 2 years in, it's starting not to anymore.
Yeah. D.
I would say it's twofold for me, and it's not necessarily anything medical, or it is and it's not. It's what I see is two distinct things. It's the divisiveness of one area, how it's divided families, the country,
Yeah.
politics. But then on the other hand, I see how it's brought people together. It's made people be empathetic and sympathetic with each other, and be giving and charitable and kinder. But on this other hand, it's such a dichotomy, because on the other hand, it has divided the country.
Yeah.
And and so my mind is like, how can it be both? But
Mhm.
it's both.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what sticks with me.
It's the
It's
world.
both.
we live in. It's definitely the world we live in. I want to thank Shalonda and Shonda and Lonnie specifically who were throwing in their comments all throughout the show. Thank you guys so much. And this has been again the first show, and it's just the first one, right? We will be back again live at 8. So please mark your calendars. But before we leave, I would be remiss if I didn't ask each lady to leave with you all one word of positivity. And when I say one word, you can take me literally and literally say one word, or because Patricia be like, here's my one word. Like, no,
Do not start with me, please.
so you can either literally give me one word or just leave a word of encouragement for our viewers on tonight. And we're gonna start with Beatrice.
My one word is grace.
Yes.
Mm,
Love it.
Give people, not just because of the pandemic, but as we're still in a pandemic, but even after, give people grace, the grace that you would like to have, the grace that you've been given, and the grace that God continually gives us. Sometimes we don't know how to do that. We forget that just like we need to receive grace, we need to give grace to others.
That's good. Come on, Tanya. What's your word?
Um, I my well, I'm always thinking of ways to encourage people. So the thing that I would say is just don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on yourself. And whatever is going on in your life, traumatic. Um, Remember when you say I went through something or I'm going through something, the word through is the key. You're gonna get through it or you got through it. And you have to focus on the result that is coming because God said that no good thing will he withhold from us. He also said that um, things are going to be better for you in the latter rain. So when God said that it's going to be better for you at the end, then why worry about it? You know, it was a word that someone spoke a few days ago that I heard basically saying that if we knew what the results were going to be, we probably wouldn't care about the pain. I know it's hard and it's painful, but if you know at the end of that pain is going to be sunshine, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be amazing. Just like when a woman is giving birth to a baby, we have labor pains, but when that baby comes out, we forget about that pain and we, you know, enjoy our new baby. So that's pretty much how you got to look at it.
That's good. Miss Patricia, what's your one word?
So my word is that just came into my spirit is patience.
Ooh, that's good.
Um, we don't have enough of it, and we're always rushing, right? So it's everything, whether it's in traffic or in life, we're moving so fast. We want it now. Sometimes, slow and steady wins the race.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And mine, I actually thought D was about to take my word, but my word is actually gratitude. That is just the season of my life, and I've been here for a long time. I am a huge believer in having an attitude of gratitude. Wait, stop, pause. Shalonda said, baby, and for you, Patricia. Already. But no, so for me, I'm a huge believer in having an attitude of gratitude, right? Like no matter how bad it gets, it could always be worse, right? And I'll just share a couple things. So yesterday I had to speak, well, I spoke at my church and my topic was the benefits of gratitude and the subtext was tell God thank you, right? So I was doing research and research has shown that practicing gratitude, there are 5 things that it does. One of the things that it does is it boosts your immune system. Practicing gratitude, it
Mm,
helps to bolster what they stress. So like it helps to get rid of, it gets rid of stress, it lowers depression. I'm trying to remember what the fourth thing was, but I remember the last thing was the fact that it helps you sleep better at night, right? And you
Mm.
remember how the old people would always say the more I thank them the better I feel, and we just thought that they was being real sanctified and real saved, but that's actually a scientific fact that says that it makes you feel better. So, and then like when our parents would tell us to say our prayers at night, not knowing who knew that when I said, Lord, I thank you for waking me up this morning, that it was going to help me sleep better at night. And so obviously there are some spiritual benefits as well, but for me it's always about having an attitude of gratitude. And this will be the last personal share for the day. So I yesterday I fell and I hurt myself extremely bad. I will be at the doctor on Wednesday. Like y'all don't even understand how much I'm bearing down right now in pain as we speak. I literally fell out of the shower, out of my tub, flat on my back. And for those who don't know, I already have I have a spinal degenerative disease, and so that just already ain't pleasant. So I literally fell flat on my back. And I've knocked something out of alignment, and so I've been laying down all day. But the point that I'm making is that when I realized, because literally there was the hand of God move my neck, and I promise y'all can be deep if you want to, because my bathroom is not so big, right? Like when I fell, I should have hit my porcelain toilet. I would have
Mm.
knocked myself out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like at best, I just would have been unconscious. And somehow the little space between my toilet and my sink is where my head landed. And I'm trying to figure that out because the size of my body and the size of that space is not the same. You understand? And my daughter was here and she rushed to the door and she's, banging on the door, Mom, you okay? You okay? And when I realized what had happened, because I can't really say that I passed out, but I will just say when I realized what was happening, I told I'm like, I'm okay, I'm okay. And can I tell you that as soon as I realized I'm looking at this should have been my head, or this should have been, all I could do is say, Thank you, Lord. Who got
Yes.
time to complain? All I could do was say, Thank you, Lord. And the fact is that I didn't even start feeling the pain until maybe a few hours later, right? But my point in saying that is not to highlight what happened to me, is to glorify God, because when you don't even realize it, He's watching out for you. Marvin Sapp has a song that says, Praise Him in advance. Like so many of us, we hold our praise hostage. We wait until after God has answered a prayer before we want to release a thank you. But when you understand that telling Him thank you, you don't even understand how many things that's around the corner, how many things waiting for you. But because you're constantly saying thank you, it's preventing the things that the enemy is trying to happen. The Lord is holding them back. And so I just, for me, again, my word, so I can't tell y'all, but my word is
Mhm.
gratitude. I just try
Hallelujah.
to live a life where there is always an attitude of gratitude, because where you're steadily looking at all the things that you don't have and how bad it is and all that I should have not, you're still here. So that means
Yes.
every day that you're here, there is an opportunity for God to show up and be God. And so, anyway, y'all, I ain't finna turn this into revival, but I feel good, as old
That's
folks
the
say, in
collection plate.
my sanctified soul, right? But I want to take me a couple more Tylenol and lay down. Come on, wait. Lonnie just said, I got to put this one on the screen. Lonnie said, Thank God for what didn't happen. Do you hear
Yes.
that?
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank God for what
Yes.
didn't happen. It's so easy to talk about, well, that I didn't get the raise, but you still got the job. And so many times, because Romans 8 and 28 say, we know that all things work together for good. So even the bad things that happen, because I said, well, Lord, I'm trying to figure out, I know you're going to show me what this whole back thing is about, how it's going to work for my good. If nothing else, I said, well, maybe this is God's way of telling me, have several seats. You're doing too much, child. Sit down. At least shut up.
Look, he will
Shut
do
up.
that in
Yeah.
certain ways and in certain instances. He will do that. I'm not saying that's what that was because I don't know. But let me tell you, he will sit you down
Have several.
sometime when we don't want to sit down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so, in either case, guys, this is our show. We want to thank all of you all for tuning in. Whether you
Yes.
tuned in live from our profile page or you watched us in our group dealing with the aftermath, maybe you see us on YouTube. We just want to thank you for tuning in. And if you are not already a member of our group dealing with the aftermath on Facebook, feel free to to ask for permission to join the group, and we will let you right on in. But we will definitely be going live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So tell your friends about it. Tell your family, anybody that you know that is dealing with some issues, some tissue issues specifically, bring them to the broadcast. And as you all see, we love to interact with the audience. Whatever questions and comments you have, then we include you in the show as well. But we thank you so much because, again, dealing with the aftermath is not just a book, it's not just a show, not just a conference, it's a movement. Thank
It's
you
a
all so much.
movement.
Come on, y'all say it with me. It's a
It's
It's
a
a
movement.
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 Yes. So thank
Yes.
you all so much. Until next time, you guys stay inspired.
Bye-bye.